Hi guys, I'm here to talk about main idea with you guys. So we're actually going to be doing this for today and tomorrow. So we're going to do a couple different things together. So before I get into what we're going to do today, I'm going to just review what main idea is. Main idea is what the story is mostly about. So we're looking for the big picture. Now, in order to have a main idea, you have to have details. Details I actually think is more of like a really, really small piece of the whole puzzle. So what I think of when I think of main ideas, I think of a table. When I have a table, I have the top part. That's usually where you put your things, your pictures, your food, whatever. That's the main part. But then you have your legs. Now, if one of the legs is broken or maybe falls down, the table just doesn't work. So I look at that as in order to have a main idea, you have to have the details to help support that. And that's really important. So when I'm reading a text and I'm trying to figure out the main idea, the first thing I ask myself is this what the whole thing was about? If it's not what the whole thing is about, that's just a detail. But if you look at the whole picture, was each of those things talking about one main thing? That's going to be our main idea. So what it's going to look like in the next few minutes is what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple texts, and I'm going to actually do a think aloud so you get to see a little bit of my thinking and where those main ideas come from. Then there's going to be, I think, 4 texts that I've picked that you're going to listen to me read, and then I'm going to ask you what the main idea is and some supporting details. For those parts, I'm going to pause so that you kind of get an idea and give you a chance to think it and figure it out. You can write it down. We actually would like you to write it down. You can also talk out loud with someone, but we want you to respond to my questions. And then after that, after I'm done pausing, I'll come back and I will continue to talk it through. And we'll check. And then when we're done with this video, you're going to go and do the Google form that's attached to this video, and that's going to have a couple questions. It's just an exit ticket, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and minimize my video, so you're not going to see me as big. I'm going to be over here. And then we're going to look at the first text. So the first text we have is called The Wonders of Water. So I'm going to read the text, and then I'm going to kind of think things through, and we'll figure out what the main idea is of it. The wonders of water. Water plays an important part in our lives and in our environment. It covers nearly 3/4 of the Earth's surface. It is fun to play in, and it is also needed for life. In fact, we could not survive without water to drink. People also need water to wash, cook, and grow food. Every living thing needs water. Without it, plants and trees would not grow, aquatic life would have nowhere to live, and animals who find their food in the water would have nothing to eat. Up in Earth's atmosphere, water vapor cools and collects into clouds. When enough cluster of cloud particles stick together, they tumble back down to Earth as rain, snow, hail, and sleet. So without water, the water cycle would not work, and we would not have precipitation on Earth. Did you know that the most of the world's population does not have access to clean water? We are very lucky to live in a country where clean water is available for us to drink. It is up to us to be responsible users of the water we have on Earth. So when some clues that I can look at in this story is obviously I'm looking for what the whole picture is about. One thing that most people kind of look past, because as soon as they get a text, they kind of start reading it. A lot of times the main idea is sometimes directly in the title. So the title of this was The Wonders of Water. Well, yeah, it kind of talked a lot about the different ways to use water and how water is important. I think that's what the main idea is. Now, looking through the text, I can see there's a lot of details in there. Now, if I were to read this text and I said, in fact, we could not survive without water to drink. You're right, we couldn't survive without water, but was that what the whole thing talked about, was how humans couldn't live without water? No, it talked about animals, it talked about the water cycle, it talked about all sorts of different things. So that's a detail. When enough water or if enough cluster of cloud particles stick together, they tumble back down to Earth as rain, snow, hail, and sleet. Yeah, it does that, but is that what the whole thing was about? No, they talked about all these other things. So the main idea of this story is water is a very important part of our lives. So that's pretty much it for this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read another text and do the same thing, and then I'm going to get you guys involved. One second. Sorry, for those of you who know, I have a kitty and she does not like that I have a door closed. So, well, I guess I'll just let her in. So if you see her, she's fine. Hello. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're on our next text. So this one's called Preventing Cavities. So I'm again going to read the story and we're going to talk about it. There are many ways you can protect your teeth from cavities. When cavities form, they give bacteria a place to hide. While forming a clear coating on your teeth called plaque, a buildup of plaque can burn holes in your teeth, so it is important to prevent the plaque from forming. Using fluoride toothpaste is a good way to prevent cavities. Fluoride is a chemical that hardens your tooth enamel and makes it hard for acids to burn through your teeth. Some water bottle companies add fluoride to their water, so drinking water with fluoride in it will also help. Another way you could prevent cavities is to avoid sugary foods and chew sugar-free gum. Bacteria love sugar, and when you eat lots of sugar, they eat too. There are many ways to prevent cavities, but the best way is to brush for 2 minutes, at least 2 times a day, using fluoride toothpaste and toothbrush. By doing this, you're making sure that you still have your teeth when you're older. It will also give you something to smile about. So, this is what our story is. So again, I can look at the title. Okay, it's called Preventing Cavities. Is that what the whole thing was about? Well, let's look. It says a buildup of plaque can burn holes in your teeth. Oof, that doesn't sound very good. So I think that's a detail, and it's supporting the fact that it's about preventing cavities. It talks about avoiding sugar so that you're not, burning those holes in the mouth. So this one's another perfect example of how the title can actually help us figure out the main idea. Now, I'm going to reiterate that it's not always in the title. Sometimes it's going to be throughout the text and you have to kind of use your inferencing skills to figure those out. But a lot of times it is in the title. So if I didn't have the title to this, I would have to read through the whole text to figure it out. Well, I can pretty much tell from this whole thing that it's about how I don't want to get cavities. Another place you can look for main ideas, usually like the first or the last sentence. Usually an author who's writing these is going to want to start off kind of introducing what they're going to talk about. So in this one it says, there are many ways you can protect your teeth from cavities. That's just another way of writing preventing cavities. So it, again, is a good way of finding the main idea. And I'm going to say again, it's not always going to be there. Sometimes it isn't, so it's really important that you understand that. Sometimes you're going to have to use your inferencing skills. Sometimes it's going to be your title. Sometimes it might be the first or last sentence. It doesn't matter. You have to think about asking yourself, is this a detail? Is this what the whole thing was about? Or is this the detail? So that is, so the main idea of this text is how to prevent cavities. Notice how it's not very detailed. It doesn't have to be crazy long. Now, in this instance, if I were responding with a race question, as you've heard me, I've retold or restated the question. My question was, what is the main idea? The main idea of this text is how to prevent cavities. So I've just done my R and my A. Now, when I'm looking for my cite, remember cite means copy, or cite means pull from the text. So now what I have to do is pull from the story to help support what I am saying. So to support my answer, I said that it's about preventing cavities. Well, in the story it says that you should avoid, you should brush your teeth and use a fluoride toothpaste and a toothbrush. There's a detail right there, one detail. It also says to prevent yourself from eating sugary foods. There's a second detail. So right there I have my R, A, and C. But remember, when you're starting your race questions, you should start with your restate, answer the question, and then when you're starting your cite, in the text. That will help you start that next sentence. Now, when you're doing race also, there should not be an entire thing about everything from the text because, yes, the author wrote this amazing text for you to understand, but we also want to know what's up in here. And if you're just copying what the author says, that's not using your own thoughts. So we want to have a good chunk of it from your brain and a chunk of it from the story. Okay, so now it's up to you. So I hope that you have a pencil and pen ready and a paper. And I am going to show you the next text. Now, the next text is a little bit shorter. We've got, I think, 4 I picked that we're going to read. what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the text to you. I'm going to read it a second time, and then I'm going to pause for probably like 3 minutes. And then when that's done, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about it. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is the text that you're going to think about. It says, although rain can be annoying, humans could not survive without it. We need rain so that we have water to drink. Furthermore, plants that humans need for food must have rain in order to grow. So your job right now is to write, what is the main idea of this text? I'm going to read it one more time before I pause. Although rain can be annoying, humans could not survive without it. We need rain so that we have water to drink. Furthermore, plants that humans need for food must have rain in order to grow. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. I'm going to turn my video off and give you guys a few minutes to figure that out. Which I don't know if it actually turned away, but that's okay. I'm going to give you guys about 1 more minute. About 15 seconds. Okay, so let's get to talking. So I'm going to resave the story again, just as a familiarized with us. Although rain can be annoying, humans cannot survive without it. We need rain so that we have water to drink. Furthermore, plants that humans need for food must have rain in order to grow. So, looking at this story, I would say the main idea is how rain is important to survive. They're not just talking about the fact that humans need it to survive, they also say it so plants can survive too. So the main idea of this one was rain is important for everyone's survival. So awesome job if you got it. If you didn't, that's okay. Remember, that's why we're talking about this. Okay, let's do another one. Okay. Here's this one. This one's, I'm going to read again twice. I'm going to pause for about 2 minutes and then you'll be able to respond. Everybody knows that umbrellas can help keep you dry when it rains, but did you know that umbrellas have other uses? One of the most important other uses for an umbrella is to help block the sun on a hot day. In addition, some people use umbrellas when decorating their houses. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. Make sure you're listening. Everybody knows that umbrellas can help keep you dry when it rains. But did you know that umbrellas have other uses? One of the most important other uses for an umbrella is to help block the sun on a hot day. In addition, some people use umbrellas when decorating their houses. So, your job, again, you can write it on the same piece of paper. You don't have to use multiple pieces. I want to know, what's the main idea of this story? And now I'm going to pause for about 2 minutes. So, get to work.